This is 702 Boxing. Enjoy this interview. David Benavidez, Media Day Workout. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to see another video like this.
An update about how everything has been.
Everything has been going amazing. Training camp has been amazing. We've been working extremely hard. You know, we got a hard fight, but these are the types of fights I want. These are the type of fighters I want to go against, and we had an amazing camp. You know, but we're putting the finishing touches up on right now. We got 3 weeks left, and it's going to be my best performance up to date.
What do those finishing touches look like in camp?
Just working on the stuff that I got to work on. Different stuff.
You see a little monster right next to you.
Yeah.
So, just looking at the preparation, David, is there anything different or anything like that you had to add in this for this type of
every fight is different. You know, every fighter has a different style. So it's up to me and my team to go in there and dissect it to see what I have to do. But you know, like I said, we've been working on the necessary stuff that we need to work on to, you know, to make sure we neutralize Morrell's power, his movement, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, they're right there. And you know, we've been putting a great game plan together. We've been having some great sparrings. I've been sparring. My second sparring was 12 rounds with 3 different sparring opponents. So I've been working like that this whole time. So I'm extremely confident in myself, my skills, and everything I'm gonna do.
How are your hands feeling?
My hands are feeling great. Since the last fight, you know, I went through those injuries. I took 3 months off. I didn't use the hands at all for 3 months, but now they're feeling great. You know, I've been doing a lot of physical therapy on them. Been working on a lot on them. And they feel great. They feel better than before.
Did you find it was kind of a blessing in disguise when you hurt your right hand? You had to really focus working on your left hand, and now the power in that carries through even more?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everything for me, I use experience to my advantage. You know, the last fight, when I fought with 2 injured hands, you know, now I was going up against, you know, a great fighter. So I kind of had to use, you know, more touches, more speed. I had to do stuff that I don't usually do, you know what I mean? But it actually showed me that I have a lot of heart, you know, and going up against a guy that caliber with 2 messed up hands, and now that I'm injury free, I feel amazing. You know, nothing's gonna get in my way February 1st.
Congratulations, by the way, on a new son to be.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm adding another little champion to my to my family, and you know, it's just more motivation for me to go in there and keep working harder and keep working as hard as I've been working.
You know, the main theme right now for this fight is that you're the one that's experienced. He has a deep amateur pedigree, but it's you who has the experience. Do you see that fight like this, or do you just see him just as another opponent?
I mean, I don't really see the amateur as any. I don't see that as, you know, this is not an amateur fight. You know, this is a professional. You know, this is it's a championship fight, 12 rounds. So I mean, he might have an advantage, you know, the first 3 rounds, you know, because of the amateurs. But I mean, other than that, 3 rounds don't mean nothing. To me, I've been in there with the better fighters. I've been in there in the bigger venues, bigger fights. This is my 3rd pay-per-view, 3rd or 4th. So I mean, I have experience on my side. So it's gonna be different. You know, I don't think he's ever been in anything like this caliber, and I'm gonna show why I'm on a different level.
David, what do you make of just his antics over the course of the build-up to this fight?
I don't really care about his antics and none of that. You know, to me, all that stuff from him is nervous energy. You know, he knew he bit off a big portion that he can't chew. You know what I mean? And he can say anything he wants. He could act like that I'm RoboCop, like I was saying that. You know, but at the end of the day, I know exactly what I can do. You know, every other fighter that I've fought, every high caliber fighter has said the same thing. But once after they get in the ring with me, they all say the same thing. They say David Benavidez is on a different level. So, you know, this is it's going to be the same thing. I'm really focused right now, and I'm very really motivated because, you know, I'm excited that I'm going to go in there and get that WBA belt. I don't have one of those yet, so I'm very excited to add one of those to my collection.
What does it mean when you're saying this is the David Benavidez era?
That this is my takeover, you know what I mean? I feel like, as I've seen like fighters in Vegas, you know, I feel like I could really take this over, you know what I mean? I have everything. I give the great fights, you know, we give a lot of entertaining fights, and, you know, I really want this for myself. I want to show the people I am the best, and when I go up in there, you know, I think everybody sees what level I'm at. So I'm just excited to, to make my dreams come true and become the face of boxing.
Morrell, he wound up responding to the talk in Florida of a lot of testing and his response was it's fear on your end. It's something you're bringing up as an excuse because there's a fear and you're scared of all those.
It's not an excuse for shit, but when you go through other fighters that say, hey, I was tested by VADA, but then David Morrell was not tested, it brings a lot of questions up, you know what I mean? I'm not the only fighter that says this. There's been 2 other fighters that say this. They say that David Morrell, we're talking about Alberto, they say he was tested the whole camp, David Morrell was not tested, and after the fight they didn't do no test, no drug test, which is kind of odd to me, but I really don't care about that. Even if it was on steroids, I'd beat the shit out of him. But, if you're a dirty fighter, you will get exposed. You know what I mean? That's why they were making such a big fucking deal and they didn't want to test. But dirty fighters will be exposed in this game. You know what I mean? And it's not good for the sport and it's not good for people, to use steroids. So, I'm not going to let that shit slide.
What's the status of that right now, the testing? What is being used?
What?
What is the status of the testing right now? Like, what is being used?
We're being tested because I keep putting pressure on VADA saying that we got to test. And
Isn't
it's supposed to be
interim for WBC?
WBC and then WBA. Okay. Yeah. So but at the end of the day, these are the high caliber fights that need testing. When I fought Caleb Plant, when I fought Demetrius Andre, we were testing 14 weeks out. You know what I mean? With this one, we barely started testing 9 weeks out. And it's not like I'm asking stuff that I didn't do myself. I've been testing more than VADA by anybody. I've been testing more than anybody. By VADA by anybody. You know what I mean? I've been tested over probably 40 times. So it's not like I'm telling them to do something I didn't do myself. You know what I mean? When I fought Caleb Plant, they wanted to test as soon as we signed the contract. So it's not like I'm asking them to do anything, and then for them to act like, we're making them do something that they're not supposed to do. We're supposed to take VADA tests. It's supposed to be clean boxing. Isn't that why VADA's in boxing? You know what I mean?
David, is the plan to fight better be a pivot winner after this?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan, to go up there and win the belts. But as of right now, I'm 100% focused on February 1st, David Morrell. And until then, after that, then we can talk about what's going to happen after that.
Who won that fight to you?
I thought Bivol won that fight, to be honest with you. It was a close fight. It could have went. Couldn't have won either way. I feel like Bivol won most of the rounds. He controlled most of the rounds, and his combination punching was better.
Do you think he wins the rematch?
I think he does.
Yeah. Is it different, or do you think it's more?
I don't know, because both those fighters are both high caliber fighters, so they can make adjustments. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same fight or not. But if it's the same fight, I feel like Bivol wins.
David, ¿me podrías un poquito de tus comentarios generales sobre la pelea de tus rivales?
Pues la verdad yo me siento muy bien ahorita, estoy 100% listo. Ya tenemos 4 meses entrenando para esta pelea y me siento bien, fuerte y ya estamos listos para ganar el 1 de febrero.
¿De tu rival qué opinas?
Pues es un peleador bueno, tiene un título que yo quiero ahorita y yo creo que es uno de los mejores peleadores en el peso ahorita. So, va a ser una guerra, pero le vamos a ganar.
David, with all this talk of the body testing and everything, like, what do you say to fans who they wonder about a relationship with a guy like Memo? I know Memo's a hell of a strength coach, but given his past, just while we're
talking. So if they were worried about doing fucking steroids and this and that, why the fuck am I the one trying to test one? If we have a guy that we're taking steroids supposedly, like how you're bringing up, why the fuck am I calling for more VADA tests? You answer me that. So if there was anything like that, if anything, I wouldn't even want to test VADA. So why am I calling for VADA? If we're doing anything dirty, why am I calling for VADA? Why am I trying to test more VADA?
I hear you, but the same fans who would ask that, I know the next thing they'd want to say is Victor Conti has an association with VADA. So sometimes they look at VADA with speculation,
I don't know. We're calling for the test. We've been doing as much tests. We're making this clean boxing. Steroids should be taken in for anybody in boxing. So that's why we ramped up the VADA test.
Would you be part of the 24 or 365 day program like Devin Haney?
I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. They can test me 24/7, 365 days. I really don't care.
And David, lastly, man, for me, Morrell, he's saying, you know, in response to the game plan of pressuring him and inflicting punishment on him every round, he feels like, he says you're not going to be able to be as offensive-minded and apply the kind of pressure you're used to applying because he thinks the power will negate that. What do you think of that, David?
I'm glad he's confident in himself. You know, at the end of the day, we're going into the fight. It could be all speculation, but at the end of the day, he's never felt nothing like that. I'm going to show why I'm at the level I'm at.
David, you mentioned about being a face of boxing. Is that a new sponsor on your shirt?
It's been my sponsor for the past 2 fights. Agua Plus, best water in the world. You're not even recording. You can't see it. But yeah, no.
What's good about it? Does it have hydrogen?
It has alkaline and it has pink Himalayan salt in there. You know, so sometimes water is just not enough because it doesn't hold electrolytes. So this adds that pink Himalayan salt, so it gives you that extra electrolytes.
Is that something you'd want in 2025, working with more brands and earning more money outside the ring as well?
More money is always better. More money is always better.
Who would be the ideal brand on Instagram? I see you tripping in Versace.
This is the ideal brand. Agua Plus.